Hi Mucker, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, this has continued, and it has gotten much worse. But before we get into that, do you like my Teddy Fresh shirt? I haven't worn this one yet, and I really like it. But anyway, yes, it has gotten so much worse since last night, because Trisha Paytas has now released expose videos on Ethan Klein, who last night did a video clearing his name about, all of these DMs and things that Trisha has been exposing about him. And in my video last night, I say that Ethan had every right to make that video because his reputation was on the line, his crew's reputation was on the line, and the work environment was being questioned, and he had every right to speak up. And I'm actually glad he did. But we knew that Trisha was going to respond, and it was going to get toxic and get nasty, and it certainly has. Trisha has released not one, not two, not three, no, actually three, expose videos on Ethan, all within the same hour of each other, and each of these videos are an hour themselves. So I just want you to know that I watched Trisha Paytas for 3 hours non-stop repeat the same thing non-stop and contradict themselves and not make any sense. Now this is coming from, I've been so nice to Trisha on my channel recently because, again, with frenemies, I really have been seeing a different side of Trisha, but I'm gonna call it out like I see it. Trisha Paytas is acting like the people that they call out. The people that, they attack, like Gabby Hanna. That's what we're seeing here. We're seeing old behavioral traits from Trisha coming through again. And the fact that they were so quick to release 3 exposed videos on top of the already 2 exposed videos on Ethan, someone who actually cared about them, does not sit well with me, but you may have your own opinions of that. So what I'm gonna do is not make you sit through these 3-hour-long videos, but I have condensed the overall topic at hand here, and the overall points that Trisha tries to make, and I also have some timestamps that we're gonna get to. First of all, part 1, Ethan lies. Part 2, Ethan lies. Part 3, Ethan lies, but the word Ethan is spelt wrong. It is E-H-T-A-N. Okay. So, the first video starts, and it's basically Trisha watching Ethan's video. The video he posted last night. And throughout the video, Trisha talks about the fact that Ethan is speaking without any previous knowledge about the situation with Trisha. In the same breath that they are filming an exposed video on Ethan in real time while watching his video, literally started recording before they started watching Ethan's video because they knew it was going to be bad, but they're doing the same thing that they're calling Ethan out for, which is attacking without knowing the full topic. Trisha is literally watching Ethan's video in this video, which shows how long it is, and is contradicting or trying to contradict his points in real time. Therefore, has not even allowed a process of thought to happen, and it's insanely uncomfortable and cringe to watch. Another thing that Trisha brings up is that Ethan's lying throughout, that Ethan isn't telling the full truth, and Trisha's justification for this is the following. It's that Ethan is saying that Trisha said that he should fire all of the members. And Trisha's like, show me where I did that. Show me text message. Show me voice message. Show me anything. Show me this. I never said that. Show me this. And whenever Trisha is watching the video of Ethan, Ethan brings up really good points about Trisha maybe lying or contradicting themselves or being nasty or being cruel. And Trisha always, and I mean in all 3 of these videos, brings it back to, well, show me where I said that you should fire the cast, because I never said that. But then in the same breath, we now know that Trisha Paytas said that they did not like the members on H3H3 and that they wanted to hire their sister, hire their family, hire their own producer for frenemies, so it was its own thing. So that is literally firing the H3 members from working on frenemies. So Trisha is so fixated on the words that Ethan said in following, I said I was going to fire the cast. Tell me where I said that. And it's like, you didn't say those specific words, but we now have enough evidence that you, even on camera, have said that you didn't want them working on frenemies because they made you uncomfortable and you wanted to hire your own producer and your sister and all like this, which is literally firing them. So even Trisha's main argument, and that is the main argument, I can tell you, I watched 3 fucking hours of this, that is the main argument, and there's no argument there. Other things is Trisha brings up that Ethan apparently weaponizes that Trisha has been rude to him, rude to Hila. And Trisha says that it's a low blow for Ethan to bring this up because they've already moved past this. And it's like, yeah, they've already moved past this, but they can still use it for context that, you know, you're allowed to be so rude to them and his family and, you know, critique his parenting, but the second he says anything to you or goes to say anything to you, that's whenever you quit or storm out. It wasn't him weaponizing that you've been rude against him, which I would have done, but it's that, you know, you've done things to him and he can't even fight back. Trisha talks about the, you know, the Tourette's and that she has done that, and she says about how, they said how they've done, you know, anti-Jewish jokes in the past, and, you know, that it was just their humor. And this goes from when Trisha texted Ethan saying that, you know, whenever he was being stingy basically with money, that he was so Jewy, which is an awful stereotype that Jewish people face every single day, and Trisha fed into that. And the thing is, this was a private text conversation that probably we were never going to see, so it was like, who was Trisha making this joke for? No, it was just directly towards Ethan. Throughout the videos as well, Trisha takes the approach of coming for Ethan personally as opposed to his arguments, calling him every single name under the sun, which is very awkward to me personally, because it's like Trisha is still engaged to Moses, who is Hila's brother. And I don't know how that dynamic works. That's literally, I have 2 older brothers. That's like my brother's girlfriend making exposed videos on me, and then the next day I'm expected to go to dinner with them. Like, the entire family. It's like, that bitch was just doing exposed videos on me. It's really weird how quiet Moses is in this, and that he's allowing this to happen to his brother-in-law and sister, who is heavily pregnant with triplets. Doesn't sit right with me, and doesn't sit right with me at all. Trisha is in a state in all of these videos, and just seems so frantic, and it's like, of course they will be whenever they're filming a video exposing Ethan in real time, which is why all of their arguments are absolutely terrible, because they're thinking of them on the spot. And it's like, is Moses just approving Trisha doing this? And I'm not saying that he has to have a say in this, but that's what I'm saying. Trisha can do what they want on the internet, but this is directly affecting Trisha's own family. And just the fact that this is the week that Hila and Ethan found out that they were pregnant and it was Theodore's birthday really doesn't sit right with me, and that Trisha was also at the birthday party, and it's just really insanely toxic to me. And I have screenshotted a couple comments here that I'm going to read, then we're going to go to some of the timestamps. So someone said, so many contradictions in your video, Trisha. I don't care about money. You consistently talk about the 5% for production costs, which is true. Money is brought up throughout all of these 3 videos, which we're continuously being told is not the issue, but obviously is, which is insane because Trisha makes so much money. And 100% of the highlights and all the views they rack up. I never said fire the entire crew. You talked about hiring a whole new crew and producer for Frenemies and then hiring your sister. Why would you air that? Oh yeah, this is a thing. Trisha was like that Ethan is pretending to care about his work environment and employees, because if he actually did, he wouldn't have aired the episode, the last Frenemies one, which even I said they shouldn't have aired it. But then in the same breath, Trisha says, you know, I told him to air the episode, but I can't believe he did it. It's like any argument Trisha makes in this video, because they're in such a state, they're contradicting it immediately. Okay, and then it goes on. Posted 10,000 videos and tweets about the entire situation. Started with leaving Frenemies without having a conversation with Ethan about it. I didn't say that about Sam saying, you know, Trisha said Sam, who's Ian's girlfriend, work is trash. The fan segment, but it's on screenshot that Trisha did say that. Sorry, Trisha, this is really disappointing. We were rooting for you, but this is too much. She says she called Ethan G because they're friends and it was a joke. First off, they weren't really friends at this time because the screenshot is months and months old. They were discussing the pay for the podcast, so it had obviously not begun yet. Second, who's the joke for? It was in a private DM to Ethan. It's like Trisha posted the screenshot to kind of one-up Ethan and then just expose themselves for, like, racist stereotypes in the process. Maybe it's so normalized to them that, you know, I don't know. It is important to note that this was a couple months ago, but Who's gonna think that's funny? And last, it's just not funny no matter what. Trisha pretends like they're high and mighty and above everyone else who's made mistakes on the Frenemies podcast, but now we're seeing a glimpse of how fake they are. So this is on Trisha's own comment section. That was a comment by Explicit Corp. We are seeing that people on Trisha's, they're not on her side, or they're not on their side. Well, Trisha goes by she, her, they, them, so. Okay. Samantha said, the words fire the crew may not have been said, but mentioning a new camera person, a new sound person, sister to replace someone, and a producer sounds like the majority of the crew to me. It's implied, Trisha, we're not dumb. Someone said, you're not even considering Hila or Moses in all this. This week, Hila was supposed to find out if she was having triplets or not. It's such a stressful week for her, and by posting new videos and tweets, you're putting Moses in such a tough spot. This is his family you're talking about in front of the whole world. Ethan shared his side of the story because you refused to talk in private. Ethan literally said that Trisha was refusing to respond to his text, which Trisha confirms in their video. Ethan shared his side of the story because you refused to talk. This is a complete shit show. I was rooting for you, but all you've done is disappoint. I'll read out one more. Ethan is 100% right. He literally says he doesn't want to walk on eggshells around them, and he mentions how Trisha called Hila the C word and gets mad at him for that. He has the right to talk about that. Also, they question why he keeps bringing up the 5%, even though they agreed to do it in the beginning. So, it's just... Okay, actually one more, because this one's good. Angela said, additionally, you saying, even though I told him to post it, he shouldn't have, people can't read minds, Trisha. People can't predict how you're gonna react. If he hadn't posted it and you came back the next day, there would have been awkward tension that would have explained one day to another. You always preach that you don't want things to be edited on the podcast or you want it to be raw. Well, here's the podcast in as raw as it gets, which is a really good point. Because seriously, in the future when you leave someone high and dry like this, they won't be as respectful as Ethan was this time. They won't try to contact you and sort things out. They'll feed you with the same hypocritical points that you've been bringing and give you a taste of your own medicine. So I have a bunch of comments here that I want to get to, but more importantly, I want to get to some timestamps here. So, for example, in the first video, it's important to note that each of these videos have many ads. Many ads, like many timestamps, like maybe 20 throughout each video. And Trisha brings up the argument after getting called out for it that they don't know how to, put ad breaks on YouTube, which coming from a YouTuber is bullshit. You can select where mid-roll ads go. Trisha knows that. Trisha chose to put at least 15, 20 mid-roll ads on this video to make a lot of money off of it. That's that. Okay, here's the first timestamp.
Ethan is a piece of shit, a piece of garbage that, I swear on my life, before this started, I was like, damn, I lost a really good friend, but you are such a liar. It's so fucked up to lie on that show me a text where I'm fire the crew, a conversation.
That's the only point they have.
So fucked and twisted. Just because I've had issues with them,
this is cool in the background.
I fight with them, I don't like their sense of humor. I've never said fire people. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm lost for words. Okay.
But the thing is, she keeps harping that in all of her videos to the point where...
So basically, that was the first timestamp. I'm gonna go to the next one. But it's important to note that in Ethan's video, he speaks very highly of Trisha, even still, and Trisha goes down the route of just calling him names and stuff, which is really weird because they're still family.
Fired them all.
Here's the next one.
They were always willing to do their job.
Oh my God.
Period.
Ethan,
they have done nothing wrong.
I can't keep watching this because I have such zero respect for him because it's the fact that that's his
meanwhile 3 videos later
minutes of this is it's just lies and it's bullshit. I am so it's one of those things when people just make up lies with no. I was tweeting messages to I was tweeting our messages to prove, right? Because everyone just thinks I'm this liar.
It's crossing a line, in my opinion.
Where is your proof? Show me. Show the world. Where did I say fire them all? When he said that they were annoyed with me, I started being well, Dan never wanted me there. I said stuff. I never was fire them.
There we go. There we have it. I said stuff, but I didn't say, fire them. People pick up on cues, you know what I mean? If it's implied, it's implied. Next timestamp It's just, this is so ridiculous. These are adults. These are adults.
Can't be her
Here
emotional
we go.
punching bag. And then the minute I speak up for myself, it turns into another like show-ending fight. It's so
crazy because the minute I speak up for myself, like that's what's so fucking crazy. If you read our text messages, I'm always like, yes, whatever, let's do it, whatever. Like I am that person. The minute I speak up my first, everything I've ever spoken up for myself. If I don't like something, if I bring up, you know, oh, can we spend money highlights on this? If I just bring up something, it's like you're just the talent. You just show up. Like I'm the producer. You know what I mean? Like he starts and he's like, why are you so upset? Why? And it's just I sorry.
not a fair relationship.
Download a free audio.
There we go, with the ads again. So that was the next timestamp. Now on to the second video. See, luckily you get to go through these videos like that. I had to watch the 3 fucking hours of it. So please watch my video. Okay, the next timestamp, I have it right here. So this is in the second video, part 2, Ethan's lies.
She's good.
He's such a
But
fucking
it's like,
condescending prick.
That's the fun part, you know?
By the way, I'm telling you now, Trisha is going to obviously get dropped by Ethan, and Shane Dawson is coming back to YouTube, and Trisha and Shane are going to be best friends again, and you know what? The second Trisha does that, they've lost everything. Everything. Like, if I was Shane, and again, I've been harping Trisha's support, but if Shane takes Trisha back, that shows that he's spineless, but Shane also needs Trisha. And Trisha needs Shane now. So, I mean, besties forever. You know, reunited.
Let's go build a habitat on Mars.
He's such a fucking
Sick.
condescending asshole.
How do we get there?
He's so fucking... And you know what? It's like my ideas, Dancing with the Stars, I did that. I produce dancing videos all the time. Like,
You know what my favorite thing is? And this is me just being shady. Like, Trisha's bringing up that they've, like, given ideas, and their ideas are, like, dancing episodes. Like, that's a shit idea. But, this, so beyond the point. So beyond the point.
Hard. You get a studio, you get a choreographer. I mentioned I know someone, like it's...
Could you imagine
being
a dancing frenemies episode?
Like, do it all, like, you know, Botox. We had talked about that on the air. Like,
that's a good one.
He's such a fucking asshole. He's so fucking rude.
This
is rude.
He's rude.
That was very hard to put together. That was very hard to put together, logistically, you know. And she like...
So there's that timestamp. Now on to the next one. Okay, we have 4:05.
And you sit there and you are just the most patient man in the whole fucking world. You're not. And it's bullshit. It's so fucking fake.
Siddhartha, but she keeps, like, pushing this situation into this possible unsalvageable situation to the point where, and it's like, not only that, but now I'm being forced to sit here and make a video that I never wanted to make.
You're the one who's told the crew that I wanted them fired. You're the one that allowed that to air as the boss, as the producer show. You allowed that to air. You lied.
But you said they could, right?
I wanted them fired. Then you lied to me and said the crew wouldn't want to work because I was being disrespectful to them. You are such a liar and you're such a manipulator. So do not act like you're innocent in any of this. Yes.
You know what's really sad? This here, like, makes all of Trisha's arguments, in my opinion, about Gabby Hanna null. Because Trisha's using the same arguments and the same terminology here as describing Gabby, and it's like, yeah, I really am not able to take Trisha calling people out seriously now that I, like, know this. But that's just me.
Yes, I was rude when I said I didn't like the fucking segment. Like, sue me, okay? But you manipulated all of this, and you're still manipulating all this, saying I'm inciting hate. I didn't incite hate. I've constantly said in every video that the crew has been nice, and I like them, and I'm grateful and appreciative. How is that sending hate? I said I'm removing myself, because if everybody doesn't like me, as you said, if everyone feels disrespected, I am not going to be in a workplace to make people feel like they're disrespected or that walk on eggshells. Like, it's not.
So, there we go. Trisha's saying that about them walking on eggshells, but the full argument is that Ethan has to walk on eggshells, which is funny to think about. Okay, next timestamp. Here we go.
In 3 months, and like backtrack and stuff like that. But like, think of like, let's say every month it's like 5 million views, right? But then there's like 15 million.
About money. It all goes back to money. Not a good look.
The math on this, but it's like 15 million for 3 months, so that's
we don't need to know about this.
30 million views for 6 months. So the 9 months we've been on, 45 million. Which 45 million views, maybe it's probably more than that because there was like December was really viral and those went really viral. So that's like 15 million views.
We don't need to know about this.
15 million views is, it's definitely, sorry, my face is really irritated. It's definitely hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We don't need to know this.
That, again, like, and then the 5%.
And also, it's in the YouTube terms of service that you're not allowed to talk about how much money you make.
also like $100,000 probably, like, all together in the
What are we supposed to do with this
Um,
information? Like, we now have this person who gets hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? For, like, showing up. And we're supposed to feel bad that they're not getting even more hundreds of thousands of dollars? Again, rich complaining about not being more rich does nothing for me. Nothing.
maybe even more. So it's hundreds of thousands
Maybe
of
even
dollars.
more.
It's not extra. That's so, like, if we're getting equal pay at, you know, whatever you're paying me, you're getting, but
It's
you're
all
also
about
getting
money.
5% extra and the highlights and stuff like that. So it's like,
So there's that timestamp. Again, it makes me so uncomfortable that this keeps going back to money, and I hate people talking about money, and
started tweeting. Don't fucking tell me about Audacity. I said nothing about our private tweets. You started tweeting. You started tweeting bullshit. I'm
not
like,
true.
"Ugh."
Trisha started it.
behavior. And listen,
You showed my DMs.
Like
You showed my DMs, so, like, you can show my DMs and I can.
I appreciate
But who started it? This is so awful.
the mental health concerns that she has.
Don't even bring that up. I'm not bringing that up. Stop bringing that shit up. Because, again, you're painting me to be like, I'm coddling this mentally ill person. Like, I don't need coddling. I have things under control. I'm on medication. I'm on therapy.
There's so much that I can tolerate as a result of that.
Okay, and then the next timestamp. Jesus, we're getting through this fast, y'all. You're welcome. Okay, here we go.
They know the numbers, all this stuff like that. So
This is
don't
draining
act
me.
This high risk. Again, I've offered to help promote it. I would have
About
even
frenemies
invested
merch.
in it. If you're like, can you put 50% up for the cost of merch? Absolutely, because there was not a doubt in my mind that this would sell out. It's a no-brainer. It still is. If he puts it up, and I hope he puts it up, and I hope people buy it, and I hope he keeps 100% of it. I don't want
My full thing now is I don't want to buy frenemies merch if, like, you know, like the conversations about money that we've been hearing. Like, I want frenemies merch, but, like, at what cost? You know what I mean? Literally at what cost?
Actually, I will say it 1,000 times. I literally don't want any of it. I don't want any of it. I was surprised to even get any of it to begin with. You know, like, it really was like their thing. I just wanted to wear cool merch. I love merch. I was excited to be a part of it, especially with the quality that Teddy Fresh does and having them design it. Like, it's dope. I don't know what he's trying to throw in my face here.
Putting all my money on.
Okay, and then now let's go to the final video. Woo! This one is called Part 3 Ethan's Lies. Jesus. And the comments are so bad on all these, and they're all getting dislike bombed. Okay, here we go. We ready? Final.
I swear, hand to God, I do not, like, I don't place ads. I don't know how, I guess the middle things, I literally could look into it. I don't.
And complain about, like, I want 5% for
So,
promotion.
that's it. That was them responding to Ethan saying that Trisha was just using this to put a bunch of ads and stuff, and Trisha was like, I don't even know how to do ads or mid-rolls. That is bullshit. You've been a YouTuber for over a decade. I've been a YouTuber for quite some time as well, and I know we know how to work it because YouTube want us to know how to put more mid-roll ads, because YouTube want us to make more money, because YouTube want us to make more money, so they make more money. Bullshit. I don't even know why you would lie about that. It, like, doesn't, like, help your case, especially when you just complained about money the entire fucking video. This is 3 videos. Dear Lord. Dear fucking Lord. I want to know what your opinion is. It's like every point that Trisha made can be contradicted. And mostly were by them in the same video. It's just so ridiculous. This should have ended with Ethan's video. Trisha put out their videos, Ethan put out his. Fine. Cease, you know what I mean? But doesn't look like that's gonna be the way. So, we can talk about it below. Please comment your opinion. I will be reading the comments. I, like, need to hear other people's opinions on this. I love you, thank you for watching, and again, dear Lord. Bye. Mwah.